What's going on, y'all? Yo, this is another episode of the Plug Talk. You know, it's one of your hosts, D Marachi.
I be the lifeline. Y'all know who it is, man. Plug talking here. How y'all doing? Uh, this is one of them episodes I hate to cover. We gotta do what we gotta do, fam.
Yo, but before we get into all of that, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, like this video, man. This one's gonna be a good one. You know what I mean? And yo,
Like,
this
comment, and subscribe, y'all. We need your support. Continue to push the movement.
right.
Get
Uh,
get right into it, Mr. Marachi.
Yo, man, this has to be like probably one of the most disgusting things that I've seen this year, and probably I would say top within my life, man, that has been caught on film. This is horrible, man. And I know y'all probably know what we about to get into. Um, Tyre Nichols. He was he
Prayers,
was
prayers, and shout outs to his parents, the rest of his family. I can't imagine me personally what that's like, and I don't ever want to. It has to feel a certain type of way when you know that your son's life was taken behind what right now looks like nothing.
right.
That's you know what I mean. Whether I don't know if he had any siblings. I know he does have a mother and a father that married, but I mean, it just in general to lose a family member, it hurts, it sucks. But in this type of manner, where you have to see the actual way he was taken out, is disgusting. It's horrible, man. That's horrible.
And usually this report, what makes it more disgusting is that you would usually hear this report and it would be about white cops doing this to a black man. But this is black cops doing this to a black man. So this
I
is
don't know. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know if it's worse. I think that us as a culture were able to use racial differences when it was white cops. So we weren't seeing that it's not a racial thing, it's a cop problem. And that the cops are targeted towards a certain demographic of people and a certain demographic of gender. So with it happening with these black cops, I think it allows us to see that this is an internal problem that needs to be addressed, not white cops that need to be addressed. Because we can see now that they move as a unit, almost like a gang. They bleed blue. So this is not a white cop problem. It is a cop problem, period. It's
Right,
a systematic problem.
right. And
It's nothing worse than getting your life taken by some cops. I don't think race separates that brutality, that type of disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
It don't matter, black, white, Asian, Mexican. I don't care what the cops were. You had no justifiable reason to kill nobody. Your job is to protect and serve. Once you had him in handcuffs, he was in a position of submissive where you could have took him in.
right.
There's no excuse to ever do some of the shit we see these cops do, man. From shooting them with guns to beating them to death. One is a little bit more brutal than the other, but you're still taking a life.
Right. And you're basically taunting him by basically talking trash to him while you're beating him up. And the thing is, again, we got to be brutally honest here. Like this isn't happening to this isn't happening to no other race group except us. This is happening to
Okay.
us. And it doesn't
So let's get
matter.
into it. Why do you think it's happening to us?
Well, if we gotta look at ourselves in our neighborhoods, we're doing it to each other. It's like crab in the barrels.
Yo, I don't care. You can go to a white area of low income, you'll see the same thing going on there. You can go to an area of low income where Spanish people are at, you're going to see the same thing going on there. You can go to low income areas where some Asians are at. You're going to see the same thing there. So I don't think that's the excuse. I think what our problem is, us as a culture, we don't stand for nothing. We identify our culture with hip hop, sports, entertainment. We have no spiritual culture to hang on to. We're separated in that part. We have no community culture to hang on to. We're separated in that part. We have nothing to identify with, because if one thing for certain, two things for sure, if it was a racial problem in the police department, why ain't none of these black cops standing on it? So with that not being the situation that we see, then you understand it's a systematic problem. The problem is bigger than what we do to each other as a culture to why we get treated this way. Because any other culture, if they get into that demographic of work where you're cops, federal agents, you're not going to allow no racial disparities to go on to your culture. You're going to stand for it. You're going to speak on it. They'll all walk out of there together before they let you dog out their culture of people. We don't have that. Go ahead, bro.
Let me ask this. Have we ever seen to the graphic nature of how these cops have beaten black people? Have we seen that with any other race of people
No,
that you know of?
no, not to the degree, not the highest, not the percentage rate of we see it of our own kind. No, no, you don't see any other culture getting done this way by cops.
Right. So again, they're using us as the guinea pig and we're less citizens. But I think it's something deeper because
Yeah, it's
again,
not. It's like I said, it's not that. It's if you're a bully, most bullies are bullies because they pick their fights. They pick somebody that they know it will be no consequence. He has no chance of kicking your ass. You're not going to challenge somebody that may stand up to you. A bully's going to challenge the weak. We're weak.
okay.
And this is where I got to get on it. We're weak as men. We refuse to stand up and do anything for our women and our children, bro. Because that's what it boils down to as men for us. It's not necessarily a brotherhood and we going to war because we all cool with each other. We're doing this for the legacy of our culture.
Right.
They've eliminated, silenced off those type of men in our culture, and we allowed that. So now we got a fake representation of what we're supposed to be as men, and those are the men that we are looking to as leaders, and they're not leaders. They're Uncle
Right.
Ruckus.
So I say this, and I agree with what you say, and I say this to the people that I talk to all the time. Society is afraid of these particular type of men. Free thinking, heterosexual, productive men. They're afraid of that. And I want to emphasize on the free thinking part because that's the part that resonates with this particular this particular episode. Free thinking.
I'll kill
So
Ish.
so the ability to be able to make his own decisions without any persuasion
Or
of the
influence.
masses. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's able to stand on his square. And this is the thing. And you said Uncle Ruckus. Like those people, they're not free thinking. That's a slave mentality. And you know, me and you, we used to run crazy on these streams on other apps. And I would always go into particular rooms where the girls were kind of like slave masters and what is it? They were kind of running the show. And I would say to the men, like, yo, stand up, take the shackles off. Be a man, be a free thinking man. Don't sit here and just let her just dictate and run the show. Like, come on, y'all. We got to be free thinking.
It was a motivational speaker that said that we're not building warriors anymore. He said that his grandfather walked to work 8 miles every day on some
Right.
crazy, like that's a lot of willpower. And then you're not getting much rest when you gotta, 8 miles is probably equivalent to about 3 hours of a walk. 3 hours of a walk back home. So by the time you get home, you're probably getting about 4 hours sleep before you got to do that again.
Right.
He said his father was able to go to college. His grandfather was walking. His father was able to go to college, get a degree, and do pretty well for himself. I believe he said his father was making about $200,000 a year in a time where the cost of living was a little different. This is the '80s, so that's a pretty decent yearly salary.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being a millionaire. He drives a
Right.
nice Benz, got a nice crib, nothing fancy, too fancy, because he comes from humble background. He said his son is already driving a Lamborghini. His son's probably going to be driving, who knows, man, a Maybach, whatever, right?
Right.
But his son after that, his great grandson, is going to be back to walking.
Whoa.
We did, yeah, exactly. So we did an episode on Lil Romeo and how he is a beneficiary of having a father who was a successor, who was pretty successful at a lot of his business ventures.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have that same hunger because he was raised under the wealth of a great man. So
Right.
him not having that same hunger, him not having that same ambition, imagine what is he going to be able to really give his son? His son's probably going to be a little bit more spoiled than him, which means that he's going to have less to teach his son. So that
Right.
son's going to end up blowing the rest of the wealth and end up being back on his feet, walking again. Because we're
Right.
not raising warriors.
Spot on. Spot on, Ivy. Go ahead, bro.
That was it on that part. We can get into whatever videos we want to show. We don't got to get into it because I think everybody's seen enough of this. This ain't different. We've seen this before. We've seen this before. From George Floyd to Samir Rice. Shout out to Sam, his mother. I had the opportunity and the privilege to be able to speak with her a couple days ago. And I'm going to stand fast. I'm a fall back on what we talked about because I still want to be able to have the opportunity to bring her on so you can hear it from the horse's mouth and not mine.
Right.
But there's a lot of things going on with these Black Lives movements. This so-called revolutionary lawyer, Ben Crow, is so much behind the scenes that people don't know. And then with us, it's like I haven't had any personal dealings with any of them. I know their work, but people can always say this is speculation. Well, it ain't no speculating with somebody who lost a son and had to deal with both of these two entities.
Right.
Things ain't what they seem, y'all. If you ever want to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, you know how to create an illusion right in front of their face. That's all I'm saying. Things ain't what they seem, y'all. These type of distractions that's going on right now is to lead you to a place that doesn't have an answer for you. When the answer is right in us right now. If you get anything out of these type of situations that keep happening over and over again in our culture, you should get how much we need unity. Because the division in us allows us to not be able to stand as a firm body. We stand as weak. We can't stand. We're no different. Then Tyre, when he got beat to the point he couldn't stand up no more. So when they lean him up and sit him on the court, he's sagging to the left, sagging to the right. We're weak.
Yeah, and we're just being used as pawns again. The ones that want the approval of what you would say the master. They're looking for approval at the end of the day, but that's detrimental to us as a culture. Us complying with that. So there's a rhythm and there's a pattern behind this at the end of the day. Like when does it stop? When do we wake up and we say, okay, enough is enough? We have to do this.
Bro, and once again, bro, that part right there starts with the men. Now, can the women play a role in this? Absolutely. You're the motivation to the men. So what you shouldn't be condoning is having men beef over trying to fuck with you. All the ignorances. You gotta be a different type of woman to be able to motivate the men into being the type of men that will be able to protect and provide for you, because we will know our legacy, know our culture, know what we stand for. It's up to the men to do it. But that motivation is gonna come from our sisters. That's the role you play. You're not us. We don't need your masculine energy. We don't need your loud mouthing and your talking, because you ain't gonna get out here and put together no war strategies. But we do need you to be motivation for us, sisters. We do need your support. We do need your backing if we're going to go out here and stand up for this culture the way us men should have been did 50 years ago. That's why you don't really hear me bigging up the civil rights movement. I don't want to take nothing away from it. But we should have been more on our Malcolm X shit then. We should have been ready to go to war if we didn't get what we wanted then. So let's clean up the mess. Holler at me when y'all ready to clean up the mess, man. The rest of this shit, it's like, yo, I'll wait till y'all ready. I've been there. I got to get out the kitchen because I'm about to be burnt, overcooked.
Right.
Y'all let me know when y'all ready. I'm in the backyard drinking brews with the niggas who ready.
So this is the thing. We had another episode as well where they said, well, one of the people that we were covering and we were kind of knocking his head off, they said that other single men are leading other single men down the path of destruction. I don't agree with that. I feel like in order for men to be better, they have to be around other men. And they got to be around other men in all walks of life. Some that are doing better than them, some that are doing worse than them, so they can have a gauge and be able to tell where they're going. Iron sharpens iron at the end of the day. If I'm around a professional all the time, I'm gonna have no choice but to be. I may not be as good as that person, but I'm gonna be dang sure better than that low below average person. You gotta be around men that are going to.
My question is this:
what's up?
To that statement, I don't know who made it, but whoever made it gotta be a lane. I think because I was raised with my father in the household,
right?
Plenty uncles around me that came over to the crib often, made their presence felt in my life.
Right.
I didn't give a damn if they were single or married. That didn't make any difference to the jewels they're dropping on me. So I don't think single men have an effect on anybody because nobody cares if you're single or married when it comes to you knowing about life and you telling them something that can help them be in a better position. We don't equate men on what type of female they got when it comes to what they're saying. We're logical beings. So we're gonna listen to what the hell you talk about. It don't matter how much money you got, it don't matter how many women you got. Nobody cares about that. What are you saying to me?
Yeah.
I just don't. Men don't get the excuse to talk about delivery. Okay,
No way.
that is feminine. That's some females. You know what? I don't want to hear a man ever say that to me.
Right.
It is about what that man is saying. When I was an athlete, bro, when I played sports, I couldn't sit up here and get mad because the coach is loud and not listen to what he's telling us that can help us win the game. That would be stupid of me. It'd also be stupid to me if somebody was coming to kill me and they whispered it to me and I took it a better way. Motherfucker, you still just told me you coming to kill me, bro.
Kill me, right?
What in the why does it matter on delivery more than what he's saying? Yeah. We don't get that option, fellas.
We
it
don't.
Ain't about no delivery. What's being said. So whoever made that statement is a buffoon. And I definitely won't listen to that type of shit coming from that type of a man. You're lacking a lot of masculine tendencies by even thinking that type of a process.
Right.
But back to the matter at hand.
Yeah.
I want to say this part. Because it was 5 black officers that did this, I bet we see these police officers get the most time out of all these incidents we seen where cops done literally just rolled up on black men and blew their brains out with guns. They didn't, because they gonna do the physical thing with no black man.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you we see these guys get more time than we seen any other officers get.
Right.
We can put any type of money on that if you disagree with it, DiMarachi. I'm willing to take, and I'm not a Vegas gambling type of dude, bro, but I'm willing to make this bet because I know how the system is not for us.
Right.
Because it wasn't made by us. So you have to have somebody in there to make sure that that business is successful. We were meant to be the people that fall victim to this system, no matter how you want to racially divide it. So now we want to talk about how it's messed up that black people are getting killed by these cops. Okay, now let's pay attention, y'all. Let's wisen up. Let's learn how to look at things without emotions and without feelings. Watch these cops get more time than any police officers you've seen in these type of situations. Matter of fact, I will drop this jewel. Tamir Rice mother, Sam, shout out to you, peace and blessings to you, good sister. Hopefully we can get you on here. Told me that the police officers that killed her 12-year-old son they still don't got an indictment to this day.
Crazy.
These cops ain't never been indicted, DiMarachi. They walking around here like they didn't kill a child, bro.
Damn.
They got R. Kelly locked up for fucking underage women. They killed an underage boy and don't have a consequence.
I'm sorry to hear about that, and my condolences goes out to her as well. I just want to piggyback what you were saying. These black cops, again, they're used as pawns in the bigger scheme of things. And look at what's happened. They've gotten charged within a matter of like a week or so. This happened.
48 hours, bro.
48 hours. Look how long the cops got charged in the George Floyd case. Look how long it took.
Right, which is the reason why I said what I said. I was trying to open the eyes to the blind. Pay attention to the bigger scheme of this. Pay attention to the bigger picture of this. Because you got a lot of people of our culture that go out here and tell you, oh, all we got to do is this. All we got to do is that. And everything going to be straight. Black people don't want to do this. Black people don't want to do that. Bro, the system is against you for anything because the system has to use you to survive.
Right.
When are people going to get that part?
Right.
So it ain't about, oh, we can do this and do that. Like I said, watch these officers get more time than any other officers we've seen in these type of situations. They already been indicted and charged faster than we've ever seen. And this is what's funny. All the people that are above them are black as well in Memphis. I find that ironic.
That's crazy, man. Yo, it's modern day slavery, man. Where the masters are using the slaves to capture other slaves and
Hey
do their
man,
dirty work.
tell them about the gun line, boss. This ain't new. Tell them about the gun line, cause this ain't new. And it's never gonna fade. You're always gonna have people who are willing to do whatever it takes, so they're in a better position than you. That's also what I call a Willie Lynch syndrome. To me, any black person that wants to just have more than the next black person so you can act better than all of them and all of us, that is a Willie Lynch syndrome. Just to me,
Right,
bro. What we gonna
right.
get into, man? What we want to show? Because there's a cornball. Y'all know who he is. You probably heard the statements he made, blaming this on the fact that probably most of these guys that were the police officers were probably raised in a single parent household, and everybody stuck to that. I didn't have an issue with that personally, DiMarachi. Well, you know what? Let's get into it first. Then I'll tell you why. I don't
Okay.
really have a problem with it.
All right, let's get into it. Let's where at this where hold on.
About 4 minutes, 30 seconds.
All right, so about I'll do it right here.
Raise that volume up. Yo, we not getting a decent audio on that. You know what? We don't even need it, bro. If y'all want to check out what Uncle Ruckus had to say, we'll put the link in the bio. So let me break down a few things. One, if 3 of them 5 police officers were raised in a single household, technically he's not wrong for saying majority of them come from a single household. There's nothing wrong. My problem is, and what he had to say was, these type of things are happening to black males because of their attitude towards authority, police officers, federal agents, scorpion squads, red dogs, jump out boys. Well,
Okay.
goddamn coon ass dude, if that is the case, don't we have a right, after seeing a listing of black men killed by police?
Right. That's
We
why
have
that's
more.
why they have body cams now.
Yo, I just can't imagine a man saying that a police officer is more stressed than a black male when he see them lights behind. They only lose their jobs. We lose our lives, Jason Whitlock.
Right.
We got every fucking right to be a little bit different when those authorities pull us the fuck over, bro. Because it may be the last time we talk today. Maybe the last time we speak in our lives.
Right.
So when you have this history as police officers towards our black men, don't ever question why the fuck we don't talk to them with the line of respect that you think we should.
And I just want to tell a story real quick. So not even a week ago, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, I'm working. You know what I mean? And I'm bringing these passengers home. So it's me and two other black guys. They're in the car. And so then these police officers pull us over.
Hold on,
They
let's
come.
fill in before you get to the story. Let's fill in the blanks. What are you doing? Why do you have 3 other black males in your car? What's going on, bro?
Okay,
Skip some things.
okay. I do work for Uber. You know what I
So you
mean?
were working. So you were
I'm working.
working. Okay.
Yes. I'm a productive member of society, along with being an entrepreneur.
Tax-paying citizen, correct?
Tax paying citizen, still paying taxes to this day. It's kicking my butt. But nevertheless, nevertheless, I'm working. So I'm driving these passengers home. They're right in front of their house. This is literally right in front of their house. And cops pulled me over. They said I went over the yellow line, which I think is crazy. I don't drink or smoke. But they asked me for my license and registration. I instruct them. I say, I'm going to put my hands towards the glove compartment box. This is how I talk to them. I'm putting my hands towards the glove compartment box. Is it okay, officer, if I could do it? Because I don't want them to think I'm making any false movements. Because where I'm from, we don't have the right to conceal. You only can do it if your job pertains to it. You can't conceal. So, with that being said, they gave my passengers that are in the back seat trying to get home and right in front of their house more grief than they giving me. They asking him for his ID. They asking him for his license, his social security number. He's not driving. And then they said, "Oh, it looked like he was antsy." So to this guy that's saying that, that's crazy. Any false move, he would have blown all our heads off. And they weren't driving. They were harassing the passengers more so than they was harassing me. And I'm the driver. I'm the one that quote unquote did the quote unquote offense. But they harassing them. They see 3 black men in the car, and that's what they do. So I'm appalled when he says a statement like that. Go ahead,
We
Ike.
all are. We all are. It's you showing your lack of remembering who you are. And you don't owe us nothing, bro. If you don't remember or understand what it's like to be us, to be young, to look a certain way, to dress a certain way, and be stereotyped or racially profiled by it, that's fine. But like I said, I feel like the problem with policing is way bigger than racial. It is a problem with policing. I'm not even going to say in this country what the first set of police were used for. If you want to know, look it up yourself and find out what was the first form of policing that this country knew about. So if you fast forward to today, policing hasn't changed. You can either stay blind to it or you can open your eyes. However you want to do it. But don't get mad if we call you Uncle Ruckus. And don't get mad when we stand up and we realize that you bring nothing to the table for us.
Right.
Off with his head too.
And like I mean, and also as well, like you gotta do this dude. He's saying that, but he's regurgitating something that ain't him. And that's where the free thinking gotta come in. You can tell when you hear a man says certain things, like, yo, you got mommy issues, who hurt you? That's a female writing that, and he's just regurgitating it at the end of the day. This is a man regurgitating something that the master, quote unquote, is saying to him. Oh, it's their attitude. It's how they conduct themselves. Take him out of it and put the person who really wrote that in there, and you're gonna tell who wrote that for him. We gotta stop doing that, y'all. We gotta be free thinking. Escape the slave mentality.
And that's primarily for the fellas, man. Sisters, you know we gonna get on your ass shortly. You know what I mean? We got plenty of ammunition on how y'all can be better contributors to what's going on today. Right now, this is strictly for the fellas, man. Yo, we gotta do better. When we see things like this, and they see us as men stand down, we're doing our culture no good. We're silent. It's like we're almost hiding behind women at this point. Yo, where the brothers at that's on the front line of this? I'm tired of seeing protests. We don't need no more protests. Let me give you an example. We watched a group of armed Caucasians in our lifetime storm the White House. Not only did they storm the White House, a large amount of them made it inside. And y'all telling me you scared to do the same thing? They had one fatality from that. All them people armed. All you gangsters, you steppers, you goons, all these guns in the street. And y'all standing back there hiding? Hey, fellas, we got a problem. Y'all cats is feminine as hell. You little girls with man parts. Stand up or shut the fuck up. Stop bragging about catching bodies when your own kind and you ain't ready to catch a body for this culture. We no longer respect you shooters because you don't shoot nobody for somebody you think you can get away with it on.
Right.
Stop playing. Ain't nothing manly about none of y'all. Step up to the plate or get missing. To all y'all brothers in the city that want to make a difference, don't hesitate to reach out to Plug Talk. We about that life.
Definitely. Definitely.
All this goofy shit that's going on amongst us men, man, it gotta cease. And when things like this go on, we gotta show our presence. We gotta make our presence felt. You can't just sit back and your job is the only thing that's important to you tomorrow.
Right.
Because when they hit close to home, God forbid it's ever any of you, but if it happens to you, you're going to wish you had a culture behind you, for real, to make sure that something happens in these situations.
Right.
You can jeopardize your life. Killing another man behind some dope, jewelry, cars, envy, bitches, whatever y'all do it for. How you can't do it for this culture?
That's the one that counts. That is the
That's
one
like,
that counts.
That's like you being a practice player, man. You Michael Jordan when we practice. We get in the game, you can't hit a shot.
Right. Because all you've been doing is just practicing against your own. But you got to get out there in the field and play the game. That's where it counts. Black men, stop being pawns on a part of a big chess game. You know?
Y'all lucky D. Marathi said that because I'll call you another word to start with a P.
Right. So IV, anything else you want to say?
There's a lot I want to say, but I know that we've been terminated before, and they'll do it again. So I'm not gonna say it right now. But y'all, brothers, step it up, man. For real. If we gonna be men, let's be men and do what men do. If y'all want to keep being little boys, demons, on demon time, all this weird little feminine goofball shit, stay the hell away from Plug Talk, man. We don't deal with that little boy shit over here. This grown man business right here, man. So if it ain't for you, go somewhere else.
Right.
In the meantime, we trying to get shit done and try to build positivity over here so we can focus enough to get some things done. We ain't with that cornball stuff over here, man. And then when we get big enough, y'all gonna have some problems. Y'all gonna have some problems.
Yeah, we definitely on our way, man. Y'all gonna
be able to walk around here doing that step up gangster shit no more. That shit gonna be dead. You got about a 2-year run of that left, man. Before that mentality, that stereotype, that generalization of us is over, bro.
Right. Right. Just said, man. I said it earlier. Free thinking, productive, heterosexual black men. That's what we need to step forward, man. We need that. And like again, we are not pawns in this game. Let's stop being pawns. Let's take over the game. Let's control it. Let's stop with this, man. Like Ivy said, look what's in front of you. All we're doing, we're just news reporters. We're bringing everything to the light. We didn't make this up. We're putting it out there. Everything that we say on here, you know what I mean? It's our opinion, but you can't argue black and white. You can't argue that. And that's what we've done, showing you nothing but black and white. We got to wake up, y'all. We love y'all. And men, get beside us. Y'all call yourselves kings and gods and all this stuff and gangsters and yo, cut all that out. Go ahead, Ivy.
That's the Marachi talking. I don't give a fuck if y'all do or y'all don't. Because you're getting rolled over as soon as position is ready for my half. You better believe it. You in the way.
Right. Yeah, man. Yo, take over. You know how the Bengals, how they said Arrowhead is now Burrowhead. That's what we need to do.
Don't do that right now, man, because we need to win. We can't come out of there blaming no refs. My coaches always told me, man, if you do what you're supposed to do, do what we taught you to do to beat this team, you can't blame it on the refs because you need to take the refs out the game by coming out here and kicking their ass. At this point, black men, black women, why are we asking for anything 400 years later? If you ain't gave it to us by now, we'll take it. Simple as that.
Right.
If you don't got that mentality, you're probably gonna get rolled over, or you're safer rolling with them.
Right. Anything else you want to say? Anything you want to touch upon?
Like, comment, it's blood talk. You ain't gotta go home. You got to get the fuck out of here. Peace and blessings.